everybody, this is Amy Rich with amyrich.net. I love tags, and tags are what we have for the November Paper Pumpkin Kit. And I love all of these. There are so many great little pieces involved in putting these tags together. And so let me just bring in my little box of goodies. You can see all of the little tag parts and pieces. This is some shimmer paper. It's glimmer paper, actually, that is mint macaron in color, and it is perfect. So many great pieces that we could punch out of the leftovers yet. It's got circles. It's got Santa hats. It's got sentiments. It's got a stamp set and an ink pad. So it's got everything you need to make all of these tags, but we're gonna make a card with this today. And I didn't want to necessarily make a Christmas card with the items in this kit, so I had to get a little bit more creative with it. So here are the pieces from the kit that we will be using. We've got our circle, and for this one, we're going to want 2 of these crumb cake tags. Now let me just give you a little tip. If you still, after all is said and done, want to create these tags, you will want to maybe trace these tags onto crumb cake cardstock so that you can recreate this tag more or less with the new tag out of crumb cake cardstock. Then we've got some little iridescent snowflakes, a little for you because that leaves our occasion a little bit more up in the air. And then a snowflake. And a snowflake doesn't hurt because we can totally make this into some sort of card for the winter time. So we're going to take these 2 and we're going to start with those. And I'm just going to grab a piece of our silver threaded twine here from the mini catalog. So if you look at page 59 of the July to December 2022 mini catalog, you'll see that silver threaded twine up there in the corner. And I just have like a 3-inch piece here, and I am going to separate the threads. And I'm going to do that all the way to the middle from both sides. Now you don't have to take it completely apart to get the look that I'm going for, but we're gonna take it to the middle for sure. So I'm gonna go from this side and get those threads kind of all frayed out here, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. I like to do this occasionally because it just changes the look of the twine, and also the twine can get a little bit bulky, and so by unthreading it, it kind of softens it up a little and makes it not quite so bulky. So you can see I am leaving it together in the middle. You can totally take the whole thing apart if you wish. Now I'm going to thread. I'm going to get these layers together to thread through the whole of the tag. And if you don't quite get them all, you can either back it out and try again, or honestly, just take the thread that you missed out. You'll never miss it. But we're going to fold it in half here to create this little tassel. And then bringing in, I forgot to mention that I am using also the mint macaron twine in the kit. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces of the twine. And we're going to tie that around our silver threaded twine and then make a bow. And I called this twine, but it's really like I guess it's a baker's twine, but it's much thinner than our silver threaded twine. All right, so I'll tie that in a little bit of a bow and get that a little smaller, and then I can trim those ends off. And then we're going to do that same thing to the other tag. I have already separated the threads of another piece of the twine. And then we'll tie that with the mint macaron. This is a case where sometimes you wish you had like 3 hands. So I'll just try to try to hold that in place while I maneuver the thin twine around it here. Yes, another hand would come in very, very handy. Okay, so then I've got my two tags. I'm going to cut these a little bit shorter because I want them about the same. And then here are some extra supplies that I am going to use to create my card. So this is crumb cake, and it measures 5.5 by 8.5, and then I've scored it 2 1/8 inches from each end so that they come together in the middle. Okay, just like this. And then on the inside, I'm going to add a piece of white that is 4 by 5 1/4. And that, of course, is so that I can write my sentiment or stamp a sentiment. And in this case, I have decided not to share that all with you on the inside, what sentiment I would pick. But I think I'm going to design this as a birthday card for the winter, which is great. So then I'm going to add a strip of Perfectly Penciled Designer Series paper here at the bottom. Now the Perfectly Penciled comes from the annual catalog, so you can find it there. It is complete with all black and white images. Then let's grab those snowflakes, those iridescent snowflakes, and I grabbed 3 of them out of the kit. And only one side is iridescent, so I want to make sure I have the correct side up when I am adding my adhesive. So I'm just going to put a couple down here in the corner and then offset that at the top. And it's okay if it goes off the edge a little bit, just so long as it doesn't impede the progress of our fold. Then let's close that up and bring in 2 more pieces of the Perfectly Penciled Designer Series paper. These both are cut at 1 7/8 by 5 1/4, and so they fit really nicely right here on the front panels. I love the look that we are creating here using kind of a fancy rustic. So it's got rustic, it's got a little glimmer, and I like all of that combined in one card. I think it's really unique. So now I'm going to add my tags to my card. I am going to offset them, meaning I'm going to put one with the twine facing left, and I'm going to put the other with the twine facing right. And I want to make sure they're spaced pretty evenly so that there's the same amount of Designer Series paper showing around it. I'm going to add these with Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm going to flip that over, add a couple dimensionals, and remember, we don't want to go all the way over because we want it to be able to open. So this tag is going to open with the left side. So we're going to remove those and adhere it. Now we're going to put the other one in place so that, remember, we want them to be pretty even as we can. Okay, so we'll put this one here, and then we'll do the opposite to this one. So we'll add a couple dimensionals, and then we'll close this again to even those out. So now it is a crossover gatefold card. That in itself is super cool. Let's now add our circle, and we're only going to put adhesive on the top third or so because this is going to adhere to the top tag but hang over to the bottom as well. So we only want the adhesive on that top tag. But now you can just slip the bottom tag underneath that circle to keep it shut like this. Then let's go to the glimmery snowflake. It's so pretty. So, so pretty. And I'm sure you can think of a lot of fun things to do with the tag. we are just using it as an accessory on our birthday card. And the last part now is our sentiment, which happens to come in the kit as well. And I'm just going to go to our dimensionals and take the edge. 4 sections, I guess, was a little too long. So 3 sections would be perfect. And then I am going to add that right across that snowflake, and there we go. We've got ourselves, and of course you'd want to add a birthday sentiment, but it's perfect. I love it so much. Crossover gatefold card, a very simple fun fold card to make, and I hope you enjoy recreating it, whether it be with paper pumpkin supplies or other supplies that you may have at home. Thanks for joining me tonight for another alternate paper pumpkin project. I'll see you again next month.